So it turns out Austin Drummond was holed up in a pool house off Driftwood Drive. A massive manhunt in Tennessee ended in the dramatic capture of 28-year-old Austin Drummond, accused of brutally murdering a family of 4 and abandoning their 7-month-old baby. A local's sharp eyes led to his arrest, and the details are shocking, including a possible motive theory. I'm Joseph Morris, and today we're diving deep into the Austin Drummond quadruple homicide, a case that has shattered a small Tennessee town. Please hit that like button and subscribe for more true crime cases like this one. Let's begin with the latest development. On the morning of August 5th, 2025, in Jackson, Tennessee, a local working with his crew in a wooded area near Pipkin Road spotted a disheveled Austin Drummond walking alone. Recognizing him from news alerts, he quickly called the police and law enforcement descended on the scene, arresting Austin just miles from where his car was abandoned. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation confirmed the capture on their Facebook page, expressing gratitude for the public's vigilance. So this is Ricardo Contreras, and him and his men spotted Drummond walking through the brush.
What just happened?
Well, what happened was we are working over here, and we saw a guy walking in the middle of the wood.
Thank you.
And we thought, like, you know, nobody wants to walk in the middle of the wood, in the middle of this stuff. So we was kind of like very sure it was the guy. So I called the police immediately when the guy was walking right there, and kind of like give them the location and everything. And they be hearing about, actually I was on the phone when they got here. So, and I'm really glad they got it.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
The hero. Great job, big dog.
I just called him, I just called him.
So let me know if he deserves the reward money in the comments below, because I think he does. So travel back to July 29th, 2025 in Tiptonville, Tennessee, where a sweltering summer day reached 100 degrees. Around 3 p.m., a homeowner in nearby Tigrit, about 40 miles south, discovered a 7-month-old baby girl strapped in a car seat, abandoned on their front lawn. There was no note, no parents, just a dark-colored minivan or white SUV speeding away. The homeowner immediately dialed 911 and police arrived to find the baby miraculously unharmed, identified as the daughter of 21-year-old James Matthew Wilson and 20-year-old Adriana Williams. Hours later, the investigation took a grim turn when authorities discovered 4 bodies in a wooded area on Carrington Road in Tiptonville. The victims were James, Adriana, her 38-year-old mother, Courtney Rose, and her 15-year-old brother, Braden Williams, all shot dead. So this was no random act. It was a targeted execution, and the baby's abandonment was a haunting piece of the puzzle. And I just cannot help but wonder if that baby ended up witnessing the gunshots, because that is just a terrifying thought that I cannot get out of my mind when I read the story. Now let's get to know Austin, the prime suspect named by the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation on July 31st. He wasn't a stranger to the victims. He was dating 31-year-old Kaitlyn Speed, Courtney's sister, and she is 4 months pregnant with his baby. Kaitlyn, a former corrections officer at Northwest Correctional Complex in Tiptonville, met Austin while working at the prison where he was serving a 13-year sentence for armed robbery. Their relationship began behind bars, and it gets even stranger. Kaitlyn was fired for smuggling contraband to Austin, including snacks and possibly a phone, according to local reports and ex-posts. After his release in September 2024, Kaitlyn and her 4-year-old daughter from another man moved in with him, with Kaitlyn bringing Austin around her daughter and family, completely uprooting her life. Family members were shocked. Briar Ashley Childress, Courtney and Kaitlyn's sister-in-law, wrote on Facebook that Austin seemed nothing short of amazing, doting on Kaitlyn's 4-year-old daughter from another man. But Austin was far from a saint, and I believe anybody could see that. He served time for robbing a gas station at 16, later kidnapped a driver at gunpoint, And while in prison, he faced an attempted murder charge in December 2024 for trying to kill another inmate. He was out on bond for $30,000 when this crime occurred. I mean, this justice system sounds so flawed. He actually posted prison photos flaunting a cushy life with vodka, Nintendo Switch, and takeout pizza. So a part of me is wondering if he actually enjoys prison. Well, luckily for us, I think he's facing the death penalty for this heinous crime. The manhunt for Austin was intense. By July 31st, his white Audi A3 with a damaged driver's side and Tennessee plate RI01896 was found abandoned in Jackson, Tennessee, about 70 miles from the crime scene. The TBI, FBI, and U.S. Marshals launched a massive search, offering a $37,000 reward for tips. On August 3rd, surveillance footage captured Austin stalking a Jackson neighborhood at night, dressed in camouflage, carrying a black rifle, and attempting to break into Cornerstone Community Church. He was caught on camera checking door handles with an orange backpack slung over his shoulder, looking absolutely desperate. So if you need a reason to lock your doors at night, this is the one. X post buzzed with fear, with one user warning he was armed and in full camo, urging locals to stay vigilant. 3 of Austin's associates, 23-year-old Dara Sanders, 29-year-old Tanaka Brown, and 29-year-old Giovante Thomas, were arrested for helping him evade capture, charged with accessory after the fact. Tanaka also faced an evidence tampering charge. The net was closing in, but it was a local's call that brought Austin down. The big question remains, however, why did Austin do this? Authorities have called this a targeted attack, pointed to his relationship, which began when she was his prison guard. Family members were stunned, with Briar Ashley said they trusted Austin, who seemed great with their kids and niece. But something snapped within him. X-posts are filled with rampant speculation, some pointing to Austin's prison ties to the Vice Lords gang, as confirmed by District Attorney Jody Pickens. His prison record, attempted murder of an inmate and juror threats, shows a volatile personality prone to lashing out. Still, the motive remains unclear, and investigators are keeping quiet as Austin is now awaiting trial. So let's take a step back to see the bigger picture. Tiptonville and Dyer County are reeling from this tragedy. The victims' families are absolutely heartbroken. James and Adriana were young parents, Courtney was the sole provider for her kids, and Braden was just a teenager. A GoFundMe started by James's sister, Amanda Myatt, has raised over $1,500 with tributes pouring in. One friend described Adriana as the sweetest person who loved being a mom. Courtney's last Facebook post from May showed her beaming next to her granddaughter. Kaitlyn, now grappling with her sister's death, her ex's betrayal, and her pregnancy with his child, hasn't spoken publicly, but her brother-in-law, Cade Butler, told Fox 13 he always sensed Austin was trouble. The community is grieving, and outrage is growing over Austin's cushy life behind bars. How did someone like him slip through the cracks and was out on bail to commit this heinous crime? So in my opinion, Kaitlyn Speed's reckless romance with Austin Drummond ignited this entire tragedy. As his prison guard, she fell for a convicted armed robber, smuggled him contraband like snacks and a phone, and got fired for it. After his release, she moved in with him, 4 months pregnant with his baby, and brought this volatile man around her 4-year-old daughter from another man and into her family's orbit, only for him to slaughter her sister Courtney, niece Adriana, nephew Braden, and James. So I believe Kaitlyn was the motive here. Her toxic relationship with Austin, born behind bars, likely fueled his rage or obsession, driving him to wipe out her family as an act of revenge. His violent history, robbing a gas station at 16, kidnapping, attempting to murder an inmate, shows a man who lashes out when he's upset. I mean, the system also failed here, letting him out on a $30,000 bond despite juror threats and a rap sheet. That baby left on a stranger's lawn shows Austin had a shred of mercy, but not enough to stop his rampage. And that trauma that baby is going to endure will hopefully not last a lifetime. Justice must hit hard for the victims, and the chaos Kaitlyn's choices unleashed. So if you were gripped by this chilling tale of Austin Drummond's crimes, Kaitlyn Speed's tragic connection, and his dramatic capture thanks to a local sharp eyes, please hit like and subscribe and leave a comment because I read every single one. Bye guys.